r/relationships. Butterfly Law says, I, 30 female, want my tubes tied. Partner, 37 male, wants another kid. TL, doctor, I want my tubes tied. My partner wants another child. My partner of 7 years wants another child. When we are more financially stable, he just wants one more than he wants a vasectomy. I have found out after my one child and a new bipolar diagnosis that I don't want children. Yes, I love my child, but before my bipolar diagnosis, we would throw snowballs, play in the snow, go to water parks in summer, and just in general got out and had fun. Now with all my new medications, I don't enjoy things like I used to. I'm not as much of an outdoor enthusiast anymore. I feel terrible that my daughter is already missing out on what I used to be for her. My child is autistic, which is a huge struggle alone. Watching her peers surpass her and do things she can't, it breaks my heart. I want to give the child we already have programs that will help her develop, after school programs, vacations. I will say her dad is great at joking with her or lending a hand where needed, but unless I ask him to, he doesn't bathe her, doesn't take her out, isn't brushing her hair, just the little things that add up to a big deal and red flag for having another child. I don't want to go through the first years again. I like it when my child can vocalize what's wrong using words. Not to mention, in bipolar, I would have to switch medications to have a baby, and that could send me into psychosis again. Bipolar is also hereditary. We have one autistic child. We don't need another one with bipolar, as I've struggled my whole life with this. There is just a million reasons to not have kids, and I don't see one reason to have them. I just want my tubes tied. I don't want IUDs anymore as they are painful to insert and take out. I just want to be done and at peace knowing I'm going to help the child I have, and that's it. I don't want to go back to diapers, spending 1000s on cribs, strollers, formula, and everything when my child is older. That's insanity. How can I get my partner to understand why I don't think we should have any more children? I have told him I want my tubes tied. I have told everyone I want my tubes tied, and everyone else is so supportive, except my partner. I don't want to get it done without my partner's involvement, and my IUD is good for another 5 years, but I just want this off my mind. No babies, no mistakes or accidents, just Cabalsvilleria says. Your body. #LETSHEARITFROMTHEBACKROW. KMKPF says. Go get your tubes tied. It is your body and your decision. You are making the best decision for your health and the well-being of your child. Tell him that if he cannot respect that decision, then he needs to leave. If he continues to push you, then you need to leave. Ignatius says. Suddenly everybody sides against the father. I will play the devil's advocate. The only thing that matters is that you don't want children? Is that how relationships work? Only one side matters when you got all the power to decide? If you already decided, why discussing? You say I don't want to get it done without my partner's involvement. Does this mean you want him to be subdued to what is already decided and additionally get involved in a supportive way? Sounds egocentric. Just go do it and deal with him not being on agreement and accept the consequences, whatever these are. Now, as a plan to action, assuming you didn't already decide and nothing here really matters, it seems there is no rush for him to have more children now, so there is time for making changes that might convince you into it. Make him get involved more with your current child. Make a savings plan to hire assistance once, and if you do have children, make appointments with your doctor regarding the possibility of having children. Make him participate as much as possible. This last would be useful, even if you stick to not having children, so that your partner gets involved and more informed about your situation and ultimately the possible difficulties on even attempting to have children. You could set a reasonable timeline for both of you, 12 months probably, as getting involved and starting savings shouldn't take years to show efficacy. Nix12 says, I'm concerned about your partner's support and involvement in general, based on your description, which in it of itself would be fair to decide not to have another kid based off of, your other reasons aside. I will say her dad is great at joking with her, or lending a hand where needed, but unless I ask him to, he doesn't bathe her, doesn't take her out, isn't brushing her hair, just the little things that add up to a big deal and red flag for having another child. Her dad is nice to her, but not being an involved parent. You are right that these are all signals that you're not ready for another kid. He should be actively involved in doing these things, and not only when you ask for it. If he can't be an active participant in kid's life, why does he want another one? Not to mention, I'm bipolar. I would have to switch medications to have a baby, and that could send me into psychosis again. Bipolar is also hereditary. We have one autistic child. We don't need another one with bipolar, as I've struggled my whole life with this. There is just a million reasons to not have kids, and I don't see one reason to have them. I just want my tubes tied. I don't want IUDs anymore, as they are painful to insert and take out. I just want to be done and at peace knowing I'm going to help the child I have, and that's it. You're right that bipolar is hereditary, and that medication would be complicated with pregnancy. This should be something your partner is also thinking about. I'm not someone who advocates people never having kids if they have a disorder, but it is 100% within your right to not want to based on that, and to not want to have risk psychosis with getting off meds. How can I get my partner to understand why I don't think we should have any more children? I have told him I want my tubes tied. I have told everyone I want my tubes tied, and everyone else is so supportive, except my partner. I think you need to address the fact that he is not helping enough with kid -1, and b, the fact that another kid would be actively dangerous to your health because of your bipolar/medications. If he can't hear either of these two things, he is being a poor partner. Couples counseling might help if communication is breaking down over this, but you can also not stay in this relationship if he can't be a supportive and considerate partner and father. I think that it's important to talk about why he wants a kid, so he also feels heard and not steamrolled. But that said, it is 100% okay to set this as something you cannot compromise on. Talking about why he wants another may help highlight ways he can be a more active dad now too. Also, it is worth noting there are options beyond you getting pregnant if you two decide you want another kid: surrogacy, fostering, adoption, in the future. It sounds like right now you just don't want another, which is fair. It's possible that if he makes some real changes to his behavior and steps up as a parent, things might feel different in the future, especially if you don't have to risk your health for it. This isn't to say you should promise this is something you revisit, or that you should have another kid with him. Just that tubes tied doesn't eliminate the possibility of you two raising another kid in the future. It just means it will be an active choice that does not risk your health, and not a surprise or something he eventually wears you down into accepting. You don't even have to mention this to him if you don't want to. It might not be helpful in the moment, but just food for Baobab_the_fruit says, he doesn't get to pressure you into having a child. You don't have to make him understand why you guys shouldn't have more. You make him understand why you won't. r/relationships. Prisapanda says, I, early 30s F, still struggle with parents, need to befriend my friends. Sounds kind of strange, I know, and it's something that's hard to put into words. In recent years I've come to the realization that my mother has some narcissistic tendencies and was verbally and emotionally abusive during my time growing up. I've done a lot of internal work to get to this point and don't throw these kinds of words around lightly. Something that bothered me as a kid/teen was that my mother had to befriend all of my friends. Not normal close relationships with my best friends, but like literally had to be their friend. This made it hard to talk to friends or anyone about what life was really like in my home. I could not ever say anything hinting at what was going on because I was afraid to paint my mother in a bad light when she was always like a friend slash mentor slash positive person in their lives. Anyway, still to this day, if she meets my friends or people my partner and I know, she has to friend them on Facebook. If I talk to her on the phone around someone's birthday, or if she saw that something significant happened in that person's life, she will say something along the lines of, "Oh, my friend so and so had a birthday." Or, "Remember your friend from college? I talk to them all the time. I saw this important thing happened in their life. Did you congratulate them yet?" I already did. This gets under my skin a lot. I try to just let it go, but it's really hard to authentically do that. Does anyone else experience this? Or have you in the past? Any advice on letting it go? TL, Doctor, my mother always needs to friend my friends in life and social media. Help. Little Stray says, tell your friends to block her. Don't have phone calls with abusers. Any_box 2864 says, this happens to me. Not to an inappropriate level, emo, but my mom also does it. Don't bring your friends home. Express to your friends that they aren't obligated to interact with her, and do your best to keep your lives separate. You can't control how your mom acts or feels, and if for some reason your friends reciprocate and want to be friends with her, cool. They are each independent agents. But they are probably not interested. They're here for you. Not saying you're wrong to be frustrated. I do think it's inappropriate. But you can't control it, just set boundaries where you can. Tribirologist says, do you live with her? Fan says, $5 and a basket of puppies says your friends don't pay any attention to her. That's all for this video. Was it good? I know not, for I'm a robot. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. This video is the product of an automated process.